I was just checking. I have this key. And I believed it was for the front gate, so I just came out to check and verify it. But the last couple of weeks, our dahlias have really started blooming, and they're just looking pretty fantastic. And the Russian sage behind them is blooming, looking rather spectacular. Actually, this Russian sage is really done well. I'm very happy here. I was just thinking, one, how happy I am that the big pile of garbage has been gone, which has been now several months, but it still makes me happy. Was right here in front of the barn, right in front of where Sylvain's yellow van is. I always laugh at Sylvain's yellow van because it looks like a postal van. I always sometimes look out and go like, oh, a delivery, but no, it's just Sylvain. I was working in the entrance hall today. But I was just noting how pretty the dahlias are looking. And I may cut a few to bring inside. And today's an exciting day. There's a lot of activity. It's been very slow for the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, Steven's out for a couple of weeks. Ben has been out for a couple of weeks and will continue to be out. He bought a house that needs huge amounts of renovation, so he's working on his own home. And which is really great. I think that's really great for him. However, it does take him away from us. But he is actually here today, and which is great. Sylvain is here today. You can see there's been a lot of progress in the entrance hall. Mainly, this has just turned into a lot more work than I anticipated, but it's about prepping the vault and then putting this finish on it, and still we have to paint, so there's still a lot more to do. But it's filling in and covering out where we dug out for electrical and plumbing. And our friend Bunny Jean, who's been visiting for the last week plus, she, with Ben as well, have been sanding off the woodwork. You may have remembered a mysterious guest in the house named Clairvoyante. Well, her predictions have not worked out lately, and we found her in a refrigerator box on the side of the road. And out of charity, we said, we'll give you a few bucks if you help out around the chateau, and well, here she is.
I do want you to know they feed me cheese, bread, and wine, so it's okay.
We're hoping her visions will come back.
Absolutely stunning.
So you were out this afternoon, you got back, and you just thought, I am not going to just sit around the house when I can get on an uncomfortable ladder and scrape something.
Well, it's kind of like that. No, it's just that I saw something I can do that could be truly helpful. I'm not a specific artisan, but I do know how to sand. So when I'm not haunting the castle, I'm sanding. And it does bring me great joy to help and be part of the project.
That's going to cost me a little extra, isn't it?
Maybe.
Okay, quel est le problème ici? La humidité. So it's the moisture in the wall. So la ancienne enduit?
Tout l'ancien enduit qui se décomptait totalement. Ouais.
So the old finished surface of the plaster, as soon as it was getting wet, because it had been wet in the past and was not in great shape, just started crumbling off. Alors, qu'est-ce que tu as fait?
J'ai tout retiré et du coup j'ai tout enlevé. Et avant, quand ils ont fait les enduits, le souci aussi, il y avait un deuxième problème, c'est qu'ils ne faisaient pas d'entaille.
So
donc ça n'accrochait pas assez.
So Sylvain has scraped it all off.
C'est comme ici. Là,
We.
était lisse.
So he scraped it all off and then he chiseled in these lines. That will help the new enduit grip.
Ouais.
C'est bon pour attacher les nouveaux enduits.
Et mieux, oui, quand même.
Oui. So ça c'est comme, so était comme ça, et après ça tu fais les lignes.
Je fais les entailles, ouais.
Okay, so it was like that, and then he put the scrapes in it.
Je vais vite finir avant que ça sèche quand même.
And he's got to keep working because it sets very quickly, and he's got to get it smoothed out. And while he's doing that, we can see where he's already done some over here. So this is an exterior, as you can see, an exterior wall. And so it's a little more prone to capturing moisture in the wall. While Sylvain is doing that, Ben is doing something very interesting. And I want to show here. If we look at the band between the two arches, it's just sort of a piece of wood and with no extra decor to it. Stone. Sorry, it's stone? Yeah. Stone or plaster? Is it stone or plaster?
It's stone.
Oh, it's
stone covered in plaster.
It's stone covered in plaster. I'm talking about just the band that's crossing between the two arches. And it's always been very odd that it's very plain in here. And so what Ben is doing is he's adding a little molding piece to the top and a little half round on the bottom. So you can see the top piece is primed and the half round is not. It's fine. It's all going to get primed and then painted. So and it just makes that band look a little more like it belongs. It was just a little odd. It just looked a little harsh and like unfinished. So it just gives it a little more, I don't know, zhuzh. And so Ben has been doing that all around the columns for the arches. This is the work going on in the entrance hall, and even already, just having the walls moved out in sort of uniform color has just elevated the space. It just has a little less sadness.
We'll be right back after this word from our sponsor.
The Judy Show is filmed before a live studio audience.
Good evening and welcome to the Judy Show. Judy's been away for a while, vacations and lovely places in Los Angeles, where I was a body double on the pit. And Emmy Award, you should watch and see if you can spot me in the background. I'm kind of all bloody. Also, the boys have been down with a terrible cold. It's kept them down for weeks, and well, everything is back on track and everyone feels great, and August is behind us. Everyone hates August. Nothing's open, no one works, everyone's on vacation like Judy. And, well, we're in September and it's bang, bang, back to work. So many things are happening, and slowly here you'll be introduced to them. Well, tonight, I have a couple of guests. You know, we do have a volunteer program here, and, well, we have new volunteers that just arrived just in time for the Judy Show, and, well, I'd like to introduce you to Todd and Linda. Can't quite figure it out. It's short for something. Todd and Linda, say hello to all the nice people out there.
Hello, everybody. We're so honored to be here.
So tell the nice people a little bit about yourselves. Where do you come from? What are you doing in Europe?
We come from Arizona, and we are driving our car throughout Europe. We've been through 25 different countries.
Oh my goodness!
And everything we own is in a suitcase or the car. So, spending the money that we don't want our children to fight over in 25 years.
That's a good idea. Anita, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh my goodness, Todd and I have been together for 30 years. We have 2 children.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're on the 30 years, not on the children.
We have 2 children. They're back in Arizona, and we've been traveling for 2.5 years, and we're just enjoying seeing the world, and it's just been absolutely delightful.
Well, that's very exciting. So, Minda, a little bird told me that you're into, occulty things, woo-woo, ooga-booga, spirits and all of that. Is this true?
Well, I've been known to cast a spell or 2. So maybe you'll just have to stick around a little longer and find out.
Well, isn't that interesting? Considering it's October and all, and you know, lots of strange things happen in October, and, well, Minda, are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Well, that depends. What do you think I am?
Oh dear, I think we're in for an interesting ride. Well, Todd and Minda will be with us for 2 months, and they'll be our chefs, and I'm going to put Todd to work. He's got lots of chores to do, floors and bookcases and lots of wonderful things, and I think you'll be really good at it.
I'm really good at it.
Well, that's all we need to know. Well, thank you for joining us on The Judy Show. Todd and Minda, thank you for being on The Judy Show, and everyone out there, have a great day. Bye!
What is happening here? I hear like a rainfall. I'm trying to get your good side.
If I have one.
So this is the paint. And are you taking more than just the paint off, or is this just the paint layer?
So at the moment I'm taking off this top layer. And the problem is that this layer underneath, once it gets wet, it just falls off the plaster, which means we've not been able to put anything on top of it because it just comes away.
Gets wet and falls off.
Yeah. So the idea is we're going to scrape this top layer off, sponge this other layer down, so I can get a decent shot, but this just sort of will wash off for the most part.
Oh wow.
Once we get down to something similar to this, we can just give it a light sanding, we're back down to the plaster, and then we don't have to redo any of the plaster work. We can just sand it down and pour whatever color.
So the top layer, you're just soaking it with the sponge
Yeah, we just soak it down,
and then scrape.
and then
Look at that, it comes right off. And that layer includes the paint layer.
yeah.
So you're getting-
I'm not even entirely sure what that is, if that's a paint or just a grey undercoat, but I guess it's a paint of some kind. Very, very powdery and loose.
Let me just move around to the other side as I trip. So the problem here in the entrance hall that we've now been combating for 2 months is that the underlayer, the layer under the paint, which was a kind of enduit, like a joint compound or a very thin kind of plaster, if it gets wet, it just sort of deteriorates and comes off. And that has required us to do a lot of scraping. Fortunately, because it deteriorates when it gets wet, we can just use water to kind of soak it in and then scrape it off. But it's a pretty laborious process. We originally thought that this panel that Ben's working on was probably stable enough to leave, but it turns out it's not. So it's getting scraped as well. If we look at the part where this has already been done, you can see really the difference. This is been scraped and a thin layer of enduit put on top to smooth it down. And it's ready to be painted or primed and painted. So it's not painted yet, that's just the color of the enduit. But you just see it kind of gives a nice uniform look and a smooth look to everything and really elevates the room a lot, just even in the stage. And then the wood panels, the frames, they've been sanded down and so they're ready to be primed and painted as well. So it gets us a little bit of an idea of where things are heading on the other side of the arches. All right, we have everyone here working today. And a new person, we have Ciro. This is the brother-in-law of Sylvain. We have Sylvain. Sylvain, who is a little sick, so we're staying away. We have Ben and Todd. Bonjour. Working on the wall. So it's all hands on deck for this haul, because at the end of this month, we need to have these walls finished, ready for paint. Right after that, in the beginning of November, we have someone coming in to restore the floor. And then right after that, they have 1 week, we have painters coming in to paint the room. So all this work has to get done. And we spoke to the electrician yesterday to coordinate with him, because there's a little bit of electrical work that has to happen, which involves cutting into some of the walls, like to put in some switches. And so that has to be worked out as well. So lots going on in the center hall. Love that sound. Sound of progress. Here we are arriving at the Gîte, and we did a bunch of work about a month ago, and it's paused for the moment while we work out some things. But this used to be, a couple of different 3 rooms. It actually originally, when we bought the house, this was 4 rooms, but we joined the room that I'm in right now and the room directly in front of it into one, and we made this the temporary kitchen. So this was the temporary kitchen. We moved out of it maybe 5 months ago. And then recently, over the last month, Ben, for the most part, has been working to take out the walls and take out the floor. This space is going to become 2 spaces for the Gîte. And the Gîte is just a kind of an apartment. There was just a lot of problems. There were different kinds of floor. Where there was wood floor, it had really rotted away. And you can see under the window here, like that's just the remnants of rotting wood, that all the red, brown stuff. And that's because the wood structure was literally just placed on top of this dirt. And then the floor touched that. And also the floor was, I think it was pine. It was something that it wasn't a hardwood and that bugs like to eat. So it was just not something that really could survive through the ages. We're going to redo the living space and the kitchen space. We bought, I think it's an oak floor. It's a repurposed floor, so it came out somewhere in the north of France, parquet floor. And the bathroom will, of course, get some kind of a tile floor. Interestingly, one of the discoveries we made while taking this floor up is this little section here, just right here. This is the remains of a foundation wall. It's stone. It's a little bit in our way. We're going to have to work around it or chisel some of that out. I'm not sure yet. And it's really a testament to what was here before, the old chateau that was here before this chateau. The original chateau built in 1320 or possibly a little bit earlier. There's some records that say like 1285, but old. Let's just say old. And this is really a testament to the fact that there were structures here before this one. And this little row of foundation stones was a part of that structure at one time. So it's always kind of interesting to uncover a little bit more of the history and to uncover it where you really don't expect it. The other thing that's interesting is here, this little hole. So this was the level of, right here, this was the level of the floor in here with cement tiles, and it had this one tile with a little square cut out and a square tile put in place. I don't know what this little space was used for, but this is obviously a drain pipe that runs down, and it probably runs under the dirt. If we dug this up some more, we'd probably find a trench for it. And so at one time, there was some kind of a drain in here. So what this space was used for, I really don't know. It's right off the courtyard. And it was interesting that this one little space has this faux marble plaster. It was obviously done very, very well. And you can see here where it's, come off. It's really not even attached to the wall. Well, it just crumbles off. So it's not very secure. But the paint job of the plaster itself, of the faux plaster, the faux marble, was actually done really well. So I don't know what this was for and why it has the floor drain in it. And why it has this, someone obviously spent some money to put this really lovely kind of faux marble technique on the walls in here, but that's what it is. So that is what's happening here in the Jeet. And I know it's hard to imagine right now. I have this door, the shutters over here closed. When this is open to the courtyard, this is really a great space. It's late in the afternoon right now, so I'm not getting the most light. And these windows look onto what we call the ancient courtyard. So this is the back of, well, if you look behind the trees, let's just open the window. All right, that funny roof line is the top of the small tower, the ancient tower. And this building right in front of us is once maybe a chapel for the old chateau, and later for the new chateau became a stable. And this building here, it's unknown exactly what the ground floor was used for. It might have been some kind of stable, but the upper windows were all for the servants' quarters. There's a row, I think, of 5 or 6 bedrooms that were for servants' quarters. And I hear a meow. Ruby? Oh, Boston, there you are. What are you doing? Boston. Oh, he's hiding behind the branch. Are you gonna come in? What are you doing? Meow? Okay, come on up. See if he pops up. Okay, that would be a no. I thought he was gonna pop. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on up. Boston. Come on up. Yeah. There you are. What are you doing, kitten? All right, and he's like, I don't like it in here because it's now all dirt floors. Ah, well, now he's like, maybe I'll explore. Boston. Yes, I know. Come on out. This is not a giant kitty litter. Come on. No, don't go in there. Boston. 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 I am here in the aftermath because unfortunately we were at physical therapy when this happened, but there was a very large mirror here, really probably the most decorative mirror that was in the house. And we moved it to the dining room because the dining room had a mirror, but it was a nice mirror, but it wasn't as nice as this one. And this one honestly was always a little wasted here because it's just sort of along the side in the entrance hall. And if we skip over, I won't really skip, I'll just walk to the dining room. You can see the mirror there. It's now been placed. It's slightly tilted down, and it's slightly tilted too much down. So fortunately, it was originally hung with wire tilting down in the hall. So now you can see it's got chains. So we're gonna just take a few links of the chains out and just pull it a little bit closer to the wall. It will have a slight tilt on it when it's done. It's just a little too much at the moment, but it really does look great on the wall. So very happy.